Rise and shine. Yo, okay, so check this out. You see what I got on the screen right there? I have Wisconsin. Hi, Wisconsin. This one's gonna be for you. Okay, so check this out. We're gonna do a flow, right? All right, so check this out. I want you to see some images, right? So there goes the Wisconsin forest. Look at the Wisconsin forest. Doesn't it look so beautiful? It's all green and everything like that. I just love the forest, man. That's a cool place to hang out at, right? All right, so check this out right here. Servants. Hi, servants. This one's for you. Oh no, look at this. Why does it always do that? Right? It always does that whenever I first click on it. But look at how the servants look. They just look so serious right now. But you know, that's because you guys got a serious job to do, right? You guys got to make sure that the people's business is being administered properly, man. Scary simple service. Okay, so let's check this out. Let's keep it going. All right, here we go. Hey, look at that. You see that? Plato's Cave, right? You know, so remember, we're always hanging out in Plato's Cave because this is a place where, you know, we have to bring people to the light, right? Because you always have people that are trying to show other people the screen, right? And then they put images on the screen for the people to look at, and then they point at it and they're like, oh my God, look at that right there. Oh no. So they either get scared or they either get happy, but the screen makes the people be emotional, right? And then these people can control how these people move and how these people act based off of what images that they see on the screen, man. But if you look at it, it's a trick, right? And that's why we try to bring the people to the light. Okay, so check it out. Let's keep it going. All right, so we always want to start off with the order of the realm. Remember, order, right? Let's go down the flow. God created the world, check, right? God created man, aka the people, check. People created states, check. People created constitutions, check. People created governments, check. Question, when did government become boss of the people? Okay, so let's keep it going, right? Let's start off with the maxim, right? See, I like 34C right now. I'm really vibing off 34C right now because that's just a bit, man, because, you know, I love it because I was a military man, right? You know, the Navy taught me how to be what I am right now because it gave me some structure and it gave me some order, right? And then I met other people and then they gave me structure and then they gave me order, right? Because then I got to God and I got to God through Christ, right? So then you see it right here, 34C. I love it, right? He who becomes a soldier of Christ has ceased to be a soldier of the world. That's a fact. Nor is he entitled to any reward who acknowledges no duty, right? So I have a duty. You know, I have a duty to serve God, right? And then I serve others, and then I serve self. That's it, man. That's the order of operation, right? And in my example of how I do that is through my brother Christ, man. You know, I got that oil because of Christ. All right, so let's keep it going. Let's do some keyword flow. Ready? Here we go. Notice, right? Notice is to know, right? That's it, right? So when you know, you have notice. When you get notice, that means you know, right? Also called information, also called knowledge, also called intelligence, right? Scary simple service. Okay, let's keep it moving. Wisconsin. Remember when we started off with Wisconsin, right? Because we're talking about the state, right? But then I was like, what does this Wisconsin even mean, man? Right? And then, you know, you just scroll down and I was looking, you know, and it has all these things right here. You know, like I can't even say some of these, like Mescusin, right? Wisconsin, right? Of all states of the American Union, none has a name that has been spelled in more ways or interpreted more variously than Wisconsin. That's a fact, man, right? But then look at this. It says attributed to French, Menominee, Ojibwa, right? Potawatomi, Sioux, Fox, and Winnebago, right? You know, that's a car that I remember, right? But then I liked how, you know, when you just scroll down and then it said right here, this is what I like, Wisconsin, Mesqua, red or inanimate, Aki, earth, place, right? Red earth place. So Wisconsin is a red earth place, man. I'm going to leave it at that because I like that one. That's fun. You know, red earth place, Wisconsin. Okay, so check it out. We always want to show the words, right? So we want to show the people, right? We want to show what the people are, right? The people are something very easy, very simple, right? The people are the army. Right, really. But honestly, you know, you have it right here too, you know, because people are like, I'm not in the army. It's like, whatever, dude, you are. You're the army of God, right? Scary simple service, right? So, you know, when you have it, most people are like human persons in general. men and women, right? Scary simple. So when you think about the people, you're thinking about man and you're thinking about women. That's it. Man and women are the people, right? So when you see the men and women out there, you know you're looking at the people, man, right? Scary simple service. Let's keep it going. Boss, right? I love boss, man, because boss is boss, right? Boss means master. That's it. Boss is the master, right? But it says boss, overseer, one who employs or oversees workers, right? But that comes from 1640. Whatever, man, right? It's just master, right? So when you know you're the master, that means you're great, right? You know, see, check it out. Master, Meg, great. That's it. That's it, right? Scary simple. Okay, so let's keep it going. Word, right? Remember, it's all about the word, right? Because the word is what you speak and the word is what you say, right? We don't know anything without vere, right? I like this one because that's what that vere. Vere is the root of speak, say, right? You know, so we don't know anything unless we can speak, unless we can say, and then we can see what our ideas are, and then we can see, oh, is that what you mean? Yeah, that's what you mean, man. You know, so that's why we get the notice and we get the knowledge now, right? All right, let's keep it moving. I'm building. All right, so here goes the republic, right? Remember, republic. Republic means again, people, right? Re is again or back, and then public or publicus is people, right? Do I have it licked over here? Okay, let me click this one because I did this one yesterday. All right, so, and then public, right? So it says publicus, right? But then if you see republic, it's going to go right here. Right, public is people for populace, right? So again, people. We're always talking about the republic because that's what we are, right? We are a republic. We are of the people, or again, people, right? And then we want to show the comparison of democracy, right? Democracy means district rule, right? That doesn't mean people rule, right? That doesn't mean any of this right here, government by the people. No, that means district rule, right? So they trick you with democracy because within the district, that's where people live, right? But if they were saying people rule, then you would just be saying, public kratos, right? That's it, man. But district rule is democracy, right? That's it, man. So let's keep it moving. Oh yeah, see, I have the demotic, right? Demotic, so you can see because it says district, right here, right? Because that's what demotic from democracy, but demon, right? You see that demo means division, right? From root divide, right? So divide, right? So here's a fun one, right? So you know how the Democrats, right, are always trying to divide the people, and then they divide the people based off of all sorts of things. Like, for one example, they'll divide you by your color, right? You know, they'll divide you by your gender, right? They'll divide you by your sex. They'll divide you by how much money you make. They'll just keep dividing you and dividing you and dividing you, right? And then you know that that's just what they do because they're demotic, right? Demo, right? You know, to divide. Also, you know, it's a fun fact. That's where demon comes from. Did you know that? Because demon also means to divide. All right. So here we go, right? We're getting into the root now, right? So this is what we're doing, right? See this jot form right here, right? So this jot form is going to be in the link, right? And then you're going to have as one of the people. So if you're hearing my voice, that means that you're one of the people. And then you're going to have to, you have a duty and obligation to click on this form, click on this link, read these words, see what they say, and see if you agree with what they say. And if you agree with what these words say, then that means you have a duty and an obligation to sign it, right? Put your name down, put your date down, sign it, mail it off, certified mail, and then boom, we're done, man. You know, because that's just what we do as one of the people, right? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to read these words, man, because we like to read, right? And we like to show because that's what we do. We teach. Okay, so check this out. You know, here we go. Keyword flow. Ready? Go. The United States Forest Service believes it has the authority to disregard the 51 constitutions as well as the rulings of the United States Supreme Court. Really? Take notice that the Supreme Court has ruled that the administrative agencies have zero power to regulate the lives and liberties of Americans, as the people have never granted such powers to any government or governmental agencies. That's a fact. This would include human resource departments and other administrative agents creating policies and procedures that seek to regulate the people in their private capacity through the use of any emergency protocols or mandates, as these acts are a direct violation of your contracts granted through the Wisconsin Constitutions and the United States Constitutions, right? See evidence below. Okay, NFIB versus OHSA 595 US 4 2022. Ready? Go. It ensures that the national government's powers to make the laws that govern us remains where Article 1 of the Constitution says it belongs, with the people's elected representatives. If administrative agencies seek to regulate the daily lives and liberties of millions of Americans, the doctrine says they must at least be able to trace that power to a clear grant of authority from Congress. That's a fact, man. NFIB versus OHSA 595 US 5 2022. Here we go. If Congress could hand off all its legislative powers to unelected agencies, officials, it would dash the whole scheme of our Constitution and enable intrusion into the private lives and freedoms of Americans by bare edict, rather than only with consent of their elected representatives. You look at that. Leanne put that one together. Leanne S. She's always crushing it with these, right? I love these bits right here. Okay, let's keep it going. Notice and demand of the denial of the inherent rights of the people. Notice to principal is notice to agent, and notice to agent is notice to principal. I, one of the people of the 50 American states, as seen in Article 1, Section 1 of the Wisconsin Constitution, sui juris, am serving you with due notice so that you and your agents may provide due care. Take notice that all 50 states are guaranteed a Republican form of government and subject to this limitation only. In fact, absolute and arbitrary power over the lives, liberty, and property of free men exists nowhere in republic. Right, see evidence below. United States Constitution, Article 4, Section 4. The United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a republican form of government, and shall protect each of them against invasion and on application of the legislature or of the executive, when the legislature cannot be convened, against domestic violence. Kentucky Constitution, Article 1, Section 1. Absolute and arbitrary power over the lives, liberty, and property of free men exists nowhere in a republic, not even in the largest majority. Wyoming Constitution, Article 1, Section 7. No absolute arbitrary power. Absolute arbitrary power over the lives, liberty, and property of free men exists nowhere in a republic, not even in the largest majority. We're starting to see a pattern here, right? Take notice that the powers not delegated to the government through the United States Constitutions are reserved to the states and the people. See evidence below. The United States Constitution, Amendment X, also known as Amendment 10, the powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states, respectively, or to the people. Fact, man. Take further notice that all power is vested in and derived from the people. Thus, the magistrates are the trustees and servants of the people and are at all times amenable to them. Further, government is only instituted for the protection, security, and benefit of the people, and not to usurp the inherent rights of the people. See evidence below. Right, there's a lot of evidence here. Right, Virginia Constitution, Article 1, Section 2. People, the source of power. That all power is vested in and consequently derived from the people. That magistrates are their trustees and servants and are at all times amenable to them. Right? You must bend to the people. Maxim 51:0. All political power is inherent in the people by decree of God. Right? Thus, none can exist except it be derived from them. meaning the people. American maxim. Fact, man. Maxim 51R. As usurpation is the exercise of power which another has a right to, so tyranny is the exercise of power beyond right, which nobody can have a right to. Fact, man. Take notice that government is only granted an exact set of powers that the people delegated to them. Fact. These duties are clearly stated, defined, and expressed in the Wisconsin Constitution and the United States Constitution. See evidence below. Wisconsin Preamble. Before we walk, let's go. We, the people of Wisconsin, grateful to Almighty God for our freedom in order to secure its blessings, form a more perfect government, ensure domestic tranquility, and promote the general welfare, do establish this Constitution. Maxim 11B. The derivative power cannot be greater than the original from which it is derived. Noi. I was going to say the rest of it, but I won't. Right. Take notice that government is to be subject to the law. For the law makes the government. Therefore, as the trustees and servants of the people, it is the people's right to have full control over their public servants who are employed. Let's cross that out. Remind me tomorrow. Who are employed to act on behalf of the people. See evidence below. Maxim 51H. The government is to be subject to the law, for the law makes the government. Fact, right? Maxim 96H. One is a servant who's employed by a master to perform service in his affairs, and whose physical conduct is performance of the service is controlled by the master. Who's the master of the government? The people. Okay, let's keep it going. Take notice that it is the inherent right of the people to assemble, that means come together, to consult for the common good, to instruct, that means teach and show, and correct by way of notice, that means knowledge, to their representatives of any encroachments they may be committing against the people and their God-given freedoms. Fact, man. Furthermore, it is my duty as one of the people to provide you with a frequent reminder of the fundamental principles of law, like this right here. The main object of government is the protection and preservation of personal rights, private property, public liberties, and upholding the law of God. See evidence below. This is fun. Wisconsin Constitution, Article 1, Section 4, right to assemble and petition. The right of the people peaceably to assemble, to consult for the common good, and to petition the government or any department thereof shall never be abridged. Right? You can't stop that. Wisconsin Constitution, Article 1, Section 2.2, maintenance of free government. The blessings of a free government can only be maintained by a firm adherence to justice, moderation, temperance, frugality, and virtue, and by frequent recurrences to fundamental principles. Fact, man. Maxim 51P. The main object of government is the protection and preservation of personal rights, private property, and public liberties, and upholding the law of God. I hope you're starting to see a pattern here. Okay, Maxim 51R. A frequent recurrence to fundamental principles and a firm adherence to justice, virtue, and original law are indispensably necessary to preserve the blessings of liberty and good government. Another American maxim. All right, let's keep it going. Please take notice that the United States Forest Service and all its agents are depriving the God-given, inalienable rights of its employees to practice their religious beliefs by aggressively mandating experimental COVID-19 vaccines, COVID-19 booster injections, and by requiring the medical testing of employees to gain access into their place of employment, which includes any federal lands or facilities, requiring any type of vaccine and or requiring any face mask, medical devices, or any medical testing of any employee, quarantining, social distancing, and or any other emergency protocols on the people in the private capacity to gain access is a violation of the inherent rights of the people and is an intentional act of malice and trespass against the people and their rights. Fact, man. These acts are a direct violation of your contract agreement with the state of Wisconsin and its people. You better hear that, public servant. Okay, let's keep it going. Wisconsin Constitution, Article 1, Section 1(8), also known as 18. Let's go. Freedom of worship, liberty of consciousness, state religion, public funds. The right of every person to worship Almighty God according to the dictates of conscience shall never be infringed, nor shall any person be compelled to attend, erect, or support any place of worship or to maintain any ministry without consent, nor shall any control of or interference with the rights of conscience be permitted, or any preference be given by law to any religious establishment or modes of worship. Fact, man. Nor shall any money be drawn from the treasury for the benefit of religious societies or religious or theological seminaries. That's a fact, man. Wisconsin Constitution, Article 1, Section 1, equality, inherent rights. Man, Wisconsin, you got some powerful words. Okay, let's keep it going. All people are born equally free and independent and have certain inherent rights. Among these are life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. To secure these rights, governments are instituted, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. Okay? Maxim 77F. No free man shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property, but the lawful judgment of his peers, or by the law of the land. That is, by the common law. Fact, man. Maxim 47H. Natural liberty is the power of acting as one thinks fit, without any restraints or control, unless by the law of nature. Law of nature means by God, man. Okay. 47E. Maxim 47E. Liberty is more favored than all things. Anything. Fact. Okay, let's get in the Black's Law Dictionary, first edition. Liberty, freedom, exemption from extraneous control. The power of the will and its moral freedom to follow the dictates of its unrestricted choice and to direct the external acts of the individual without restraints, coercion, or control from other persons. That's freedom, or that's liberty, right? Take notice that the Supreme Court has ruled that administrative agencies have zero power, no power to regulate the lives and liberties of Americans, as the people have never granted any such powers to any government or any governmental agencies. This would include human resource departments and other administrative agents creating policies and procedures that seek to regulate the people in their private capacity through the use of any emergency protocols or mandates, as these acts are a direct violation of your contracts granted through the Wisconsin Constitution and the United States Constitutions. See evidence below. NFIBVOHSA 595 US 42022. Let's go. It ensures that the national government's power to make the laws that govern us remains where Article 1 of the Constitution says it belongs, with the people's elected representatives, man. If administrative agencies seek to regulate the daily lives and liberties of millions of Americans, the doctrine says they must at least be able to trace the power to a clear grant of authority from Congress, man. You better show us the power, right? Please take notice. Individual liberties are not revocable, and the Constitution supersedes all other laws. Where rights secured by the Constitution are involved, there can be no rulemaking which would abrogate them. In fact, the legislature has not been granted any authority to write legislation over any natural rights of the people. Rather, a repugnant law cannot become law. Check this out. See evidence below. Wisconsin Constitution, Article 1, Section 2. Slavery prohibited. There shall be neither slavery nor involuntary servitude in this state, otherwise than for the punishment of crime. Wherefore the parties shall Wherefore the party shall have been duly convicted. Fact, man. Okay, let's keep it going. Miranda v. Arizona, 384 U.S. 436 1966. Yo, what's up, Arizona? Right, where rights secured by the constitutions are involved, there can be no rulemaking or legislation which would abrogate them. That's a fact, man. Let's go back in time. Marbury v. Madison, 5 U.S. 137 1803. A law repugnant to the Constitution is void. An act of Congress repugnant to the Constitution cannot become a law. The Constitution supersedes all other laws, and the individual rights shall be liberally enforced in favor of him, the clearly intended and expressly designated beneficiary. Ooh, what's up, Benny? Okay, Maxim 62p. An unconstitutional act is not a law. It confers no rights. It imposes no duties. It affords no protection. It creates no office. It is, in legal contemplation, as inoperative as though it had never been passed. Okay, let's keep it going. Take notice that it is the inherent right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects. This includes the private access to any personal or medical records for any of the people. Please show where you were granted the authority in the Wisconsin Constitution that authorizes you to disregard the people's inherent rights to privacy. Failure to show said authority means that your actions are a direct trespass on the people, and that you are knowingly acting with full intent and malice against the people and their unalienable rights, man. The rights that you can't even mess with, right? See evidence below. Wisconsin Constitution, Article 1, Section 1:1, searches and seizures. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, you better swear, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. Fact, man. Let's check out Black's Law Dictionary, 6th edition, okay? Privacy, right of. The right to be left alone. The right of a person to be free from unwarranted publicity. And right to live without unwarranted interference by the public in matters with which the public is not necessarily concerned. Term right of privacy is generic term right of privacy is generic term encompassing various rights recognized to be inherent in concept of ordered liberty, and such rights prevent governmental interference in intimate personal relationships or activities, freedoms of individuals to make fundamental choices involving himself, his family, and his relationship with others. Industrial fact. That's where the case it comes from. All right, let's keep it going. NFIB verse OHSA 595 US 5 2022. If Congress could hand off all its legislative powers to unelected agencies officials, it would dash the whole scheme of our Constitution and enable intrusions into the private lives and freedoms of Americans by bare edict, rather than only with the consent of their elected representatives, man. All right, I hope you're starting to see the pattern here, okay? Please take notice that your contract is with the people, and those duties to which you are strictly bound are expressed in your trust indenture, the Wisconsin Constitution, as well as the United States Constitution. Those are called contracts, man. Let's keep it going. Therefore, please show where in the state constitution that you are granted privileges to disregard your contract with the people and pass any ex post facto laws or any laws impairing the obligations of contracts. Failure to provide any authority is a direct trespass on the people, showing that you are knowingly acting acting with full intent and malice against the people and their inherent rights. See evidence below. Wisconsin Constitution, Article 1, Section 12, attainder, ex post facto contracts, right? No bill of attainder, ex post facto law, nor any law impairing the obligation of contracts shall ever be passed, and no conviction shall work corruption of blood or forfeiture of estate. Private property for public use, man. You can't touch it, okay? Let's keep it going. Take notice that the legislature shall not pass any private, special, or local laws granting any corporation, association, or individual any exclusive privilege, immunity, or franchise, whatever. See evidence below. The people are so boss, right? Wisconsin Constitution, Article 4, Section 17, enactment of laws. 1. The style of all laws of the state shall be the people of the state of Wisconsin, represented in Senate and Assembly, do enact as follows. Okay? Number 2. No law shall be enacted except by bill. No law shall be enforced until published. Okay? Number 3. The legislature shall provide by law for the speedy publication of all laws. Okay? Wisconsin Constitution, Article 4, Section 18, title of private bills. No private or local bills which may be passed by the legislature shall embrace more than one subject, and that shall be expressed in the title. Okay, you got to keep it simple, man. Okay, Wisconsin Constitution, Article 4, Section 31, special and private laws prohibited, right? The legislature is prohibited from enacting any special or private laws in the following cases: for granting corporate powers or privileges, except to cities. 8. For authorizing the appointment of any part of the school fund. 9. For incorporating any city, town, or village, or to amend the charter thereof. All right, let's keep it going. Wisconsin Constitution, Article 4, Section 32. Oh, excuse me, I had to burp. Okay, Article 4, Section 32. General laws on enumerated subjects. The legislature may provide by general law for the treatment of any subject for which lawmaking is prohibited by Section 31 of this article. Subject to reasonable classifications, such laws shall be uniform in their operations throughout the state. Fact, man, you got to keep it all one, right? Wisconsin, Article XI, also known as 1111, Section 1, corporations, how formed. Corporations without banking powers or privileges may be formed under general laws. But, okay, where'd it go? But general laws under the provisions of this section may be altered. No, but shall not be created. Rewind. Boop, boop, boop. Corporations without banking powers or privileges shall be formed under general laws, but shall not be created by special act except for municipal purposes. All general laws or special acts enacted under the provisions of this section may be altered or repealed by the legislature at any time after their passage. That's a fact, man. Let's keep it going. Please take notice that we will not allow for any discrimination or segregation of our right to life and liberty, nor be denied the enjoyment of any civil right based on our vaccination status or for any other reason, including the requiring of any medical procedures or medical testing as requirement for employment or to gain access into any state or federal government buildings, facilities, or land. Furthermore, receiving any federal, state, or public funds wherein incentive and stipulations are attached, advising you to infringe upon the inherent rights of the people, including their right to privacy, are nefarious violations of your contract agreement granted to you by privilege through the power of the people. Discrimination by any entity is prohibitory, right, and a direct violation of the Wisconsin Constitution, all other 49 states' constitutions, the United States Constitution, and the Civil Rights Act of 1964. That's a whole lot of violating you're doing right there, man. Let's keep it going. Civil Rights Act of 1964. TIT, short for title, V11, number 742, USC 2000E, TAC 2A1, subsection 703A12. A. It shall be an unlawful employment practice for an employer, 1. To fail or refuse to hire or to discharge any individual or otherwise to discriminate against any individual with respect to his compensation, terms, conditions, or privileges of employment because of such individual's race, color, religion, sex, or national origin, or 2. To limit, segregate, or classify his employees in any way which would deprive or tend to deprive any individual of employment opportunities or otherwise adversely affect his status as an employee because of such individuals' race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. All right, let's keep it going. Civil Rights Act of 1964, TIT V1142, USC 2000E, TAC 7, subsection 708. Nothing in this title shall be deemed to exempt or relieve any person from any liability, duty, penalty, or punishment provided by any present or future law of any state or political subdivision of a state other than any such law which purports to require or permit the doing of any act which would be an unlawful employment practice under this title. Okay? Hear these words, people, right? Take notice that the United States Forest Service has collected federal funding under Title 42, a non-positive law, no law, not yet codified, never enacted by Congress. Title 42, the public health and welfare has not been passed by Congress and is an editorial compilation of statutes, man. It's like a magazine. Therefore, the entire application of Title 42 is created under the presumption that something which is a total fiction of law is true, okay? Furthermore, if you believe Title 42 has been enacted by the United States Congress and is a positive law, please provide the provisions showing where it was lawfully codified by Congress. See evidence below, all right? Maxim 45B. A fiction is a rule of law that assumes something which is or may be false as true. Okay, let's keep it going. Take notice that every individual is entitled to certain remedy in the law for all injuries or wrongs which he may receive on his person, having justice obtained freely without denial or delay. Therefore, if you believe you have been granted the authority to lawfully harm the people and force any individual to take emergency use authorization, approved experimental injections, and or discriminate against any healthy, unvaccinated employees by forcing them to submit to unnecessary medical testing, please provide the constitutional provisions which grant you such authority. Failure to provide the constitutional authority that grants you these privileges is a direct trespass on the people and their natural rights. Furthermore, these individuals are entitled to immediate remedy for all wrongs that they have received from your unlawful and illegal actions. See evidence below. Wisconsin Constitution, Article 1, Section 8, remedy for wrongs, right? Let's check out the remedy, right? Every person is entitled to a certain remedy in the laws for all injuries or wrongs which he may receive in his person, property, or character. He ought to obtain justice freely, okay, and without being obliged to purchase it. Completely and without denial, promptly, without delay, comfortably to the laws. Okay, how are we doing on time? We're good. Okay, please take notice that it would be against your contract agreement with the people to deny, infringe, or interfere with their inherent rights. Therefore, I wish, order, and demand for you to immediately remove any and all vaccine mandates, rules, regulations, or requirements that are unlawful and in violation of our constitutions as a point of admission. All right, let's keep it going. Please take further notice that any man or woman who decides to suppress this notice agrees to pay $100,000, right, per infraction, and any disputes by any public officials or private actors who are bound by contract to the Wisconsin Constitution and the United States Constitutions agrees to have these matters heard before an arbitrator of my choice. 9 U.S. Code, subsection 4, subsection 5. The people also wish to have direct access to their local grand juries, grand juries, to correct any government or private actors who may appear to be engaging in maladministration. United States versus Channon, 549 F2D 1306 1312 CA 91977. Moreover, no bar association members are authorized to handle or interfere with these matters, and any attempts by any bar association members will be considered a direct trespass on the people's rights. You hear that, bar association members? Don't touch, right? Please take final notice that it is my wish, order, and demand that all trustees, servants, agents, and bar members to immediately stop blocking and interfering in the people's inherent rights, including the right to privacy, religious freedom, freedoms from segregation and discrimination, right to public accommodations, and to have lawful and immediate access onto any federal or state property, facility, or land without restriction. Furthermore, if you believe any of the above claims are untrue, or that you have the authority to grant power to any public, private, charter, corporation, including any federal government, corporation, and/or delegate your power in any way which would allow any public servant, private actor, or corporation to infringe on the people's rights, please provide the constitutional authority which grants you such privileges. Please do it. Show us the law. Right. All responses must be submitted by affidavit, sworn, you got to swear, under penalty of perjury within 5 days of receiving this notice, or you agree by acquiescence all statements in this notice to be true and fact. Further, you agree that you are acting with full intent, knowledge, and malice by trespassing on the people's rights, including the right of privacy and public accommodations, and no court shall be able to rehear this matter, but it shall stand as evidence and truth in all courts of record, okay? This notice is sent to you in peace and with the love of Christ, so that you may provide due care to those who have all political power, the people. All right? So check it out. Put your full name down. Then you autograph it. Then you date it. Then you put your email. Then you submit that, right? That's it, man. You preview that PDF. You download that PDF, and boom, you're good, man. Now, you're one of the people. So now, every man and every woman that has heard my words, you now have a duty and you have an obligation to put this notice out there, man. Just check out the links. The link is going to be in the Bible. I said the Bible. In the bio. In the description, okay? So that's it, man. We're done, man. So we just showed, check this out. Remember, we're going to close it out right now. Remember, there's an order of this realm, right? The order. God created the world. Check. God created man, aka the people. Check. People created states. Check. People created constitutions. Check. People created governments. Check. Question. When did government become boss of the people? Answer. Never. They never are the boss of the people, man. You know why? Because God said so. Okay, so here, I'm going to show you this word right here. Right? You always got to close out with the word too. Right? Remember, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, right? And then now we're showing you knowledge because we're showing you notice, okay? So check this one out right here. Remember, John 1:1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, right? Scary simple service, okay? If you put these words and then you bed these words, you're going to be powerful, right? All right, so check this out. Let's look at Genesis. How did it all start, right? How did it all start? You see, Genesis 26. And God said, let us make man in our image. Fact, man. So God said, let us make man in our image after our likeness and let them have dominion, right? So He said, God said, let man have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air and over the cattle and over all the earth and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, right? So that's what God said. And then God said this. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him, male and female created he them. Okay? You see that? Those are the words, man. So check this out. We close it out with Psalms 82:6, right? This is a fact. Who said that? God said that. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High, right? You know, so who is all of you? The people. Every man and every woman, you are a child of the Most High, right? You are a child of God, right? And then that's it, man. You're nothing else. That's it. That is a very huge responsibility. And now that you know, man. You know, so hi, Wisconsin. You guys got knowledge now, right? Hi, Forest people. You guys are going to have knowledge now, right? Look at this. Servants. Check out the servants. Servants. You have knowledge now, too. So after you hear these words, we should be cool, man. We should be done, right? You know, so that's it, man. We just had fun showing Plato's Cave, and we showed the notice, and then now we're going to go, we're going to chill, we're going to have some fun because we did our morning walk, we walked with God, and then now we're just going to chill. So I'll talk to you guys in the future. Remember, nobody's having more fun than us. Bye.